Hey church fam, what up? Welcome to the church channel. Welcome to another great episode of Chit Chat Chill. I know that you have already watched the episode 1 of Debunking the Myth about church women. If you have not yet watched that episode, just go ahead and click the link right there. If you have already watched that episode, you just continue to just sit back, relax, subscribe to the channel, and enjoy episode 2.
Men.
The guys sent us over a loaded list of questions, and I want to ensure that we are able to go through all of them and not have to drop some, guys.
Okay.
So we have to try to go through them as quickly as possible. But there's this very loaded one that, they're saying that there's a script. They're basically a script for how both boys and girls are to treat girls, right? However, is there something that is out there for how ladies are to treat men? Because we're supposed to be treated as princesses and the works. So, how do you treat men before marriage? So, let me see. Let me really think about who I want to take this one. Olivia, I feel it for you. Yes, go ahead. Take it away.
You sure?
Yes, man. Is there a consensus on how you should treat men before marriage?
Okay. Personally, everybody here I know personally, yes. So, hi YouTube. Okay, personally, people in a relationship, in a godly relationship, you see things. You are in a relationship for a purpose. When you see things that you do not particularly like, and you are met with opinions that you don't particularly share, you choose to prolong or you choose to continue. I'm saying all of that to say a lot of what happens in a relationship is very much indicative of how things will follow through. Now, we all know that there are certain things that, as just like the submission topic, I'm supposed to submit to my husband. However, women, are princesses, and we're to be wined and dined, and we're supposed to be made to feel special and everything and the nine. I personally agree, or I am of the opinion that men should be treated well. I hope I'm answering this question as to what you're saying, Terry.
Right. I want to understand why there are some husband privileges that are not given to men, really.
Okay, however...
Yes, but we are expecting wife privileges before marriage. Yes.
Okay.
That's what we want to know.
Got you. Now, again, it's an understanding. So you have to come to an understanding that if you're giving something, it should be reciprocated. And we're talking within the confines of dating, relationship. So there isn't supposed to be someone feeling that they're giving more. And again, I'm not speaking for men, but this question sounds as if that men feel like they're giving more. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Because oftentimes women feel like, okay,
they're entitled to more.
Yes, the good treatment, but they don't need to do anything until they become wife.
And I agree with your statement that you're saying, but I've seen it way too many times that women don't step up, Sometimes we're not as considerate, and because let me tell you what it's under, the arch that it's under, and as he should, pursue me. He pursues me. And I am the thing that I am the good thing that the Bible says that I am the good thing. However, I also think that if you're at a place that you realize that you too have found a good thing, appreciate that good thing. Because after the pursuing and you're reached to a point where we're saying, all right, say you're a good thing too, let me show you how you're good. Priscilla might buy Monroe an Arsenal jersey. Personally, I might buy a new, what's that, the PS5 game thing, something that they like, because I have found a good thing. So reciprocate that good thing. But ladies, let's not be selfish in these relationship processes. However, as Terry said, there are so many things that are reserved for marriage. However, let not the selfishness of the pursuing me cloud what you do in your relationship, leading up to, saying that it will lead up to. Let not the I am the prize. Let's not have that make us not show that we appreciate and we love and that we too have found a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, go Stassi.
Thank you, because I really wanted to go next. I agree on many fronts, many, pretty much everything. One of the things that I think is important in dating and all our friendships, every interaction, is communication. I think communication is such a critical thing. I think we have a right to require a particular standard of treatment. Women do, men do. And I think men reserve the right to say, I want you to treat me this kind of way. I think that they reserve the right to say, look, I see you, I want you. I don't know, is this a one-sided thing? Do you not like me too? And I think that they should say that, because I am not a fan of the whole love languages thing, but it's real for many persons. And if the man is not feeling appreciated, it may not be that she hasn't been appreciating him, but maybe she's not doing it in a way that he feels appreciated. Maybe she's been giving him words of affirmation when he really needs some gifts, because that's what makes him feel appreciated. So I think communication is very, 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 very important. I also think that not everyone that you date, you're going to marry.
Exactly.
So body is just not for you, and it's okay.
Right.
She not hate you. She not give you the bad treatment or whatever. Same for the ladies, vice versa. But you're just, mutuality isn't there, the compatibility isn't there, and you two are just not for each other, and that is okay. However, whereas you have committed to each other now, then that's where the relationship takes work now. And you don't just say, oh, this person isn't for me. That's why the conversation is important, where you say, I require this to feel safe, secure, and satisfied in this relationship. And the woman can conversely say, bro, these things that you've been doing, how he believes he may have been giving me the princess treatment, I actually don't require that. It may be for some women, I actually don't need roses because I don't like them. So it's the conversation. It's so very important for everybody to get on the same page about where you are, what you're actually doing, what it means about right now, and if it means that we can actually go further. I am a very big fan of conversation in the very, very initial stages of any interaction, whether it's friendship or otherwise. It really saves a lot of time. It saves a whole heap of time to just have a conversation and to be honest and upfront about it. Another thing that is important to know though, when you're having a conversation, it's dialogue. It's not a monologue. So you don't get to just talk. You must also stop and, listen to what the other person said, respond to what they said, and not just how you feel. Don't just respond to how you feel, but respond to what the person is sharing from their heart. So, and as you go through, someone mentioned before that what's happening right now is really indicative of what's going to happen down the road if you continue this interaction. So this kind of thing is very, very important, because down the line, the disagreements will become real, like where you want to live, how you want to raise your children, if you're going to be spanking the child or not. So you actually need to be able to have a conversation. If you can't do it, when him just say, hey, what's up, what you doing? If you can't do it right there, so fam, there's no way you're going to do it when the pitney 13-year-old. So I think, communication is important. You reserve the right to require a particular standard of treatment, and you reserve the right to communicate that. And you also reserve the right to end interactions that you do not believe align with where you see yourself going.
True. All right, Delicia, take it away.
Okay, so I'll try to keep it brief.
Yes.
So
Dilly has notes.
I do, of course. Okay, so the question was about a consensus on how women should treat men before marriage, right?
Right.
I did not answer the question.
you gave a good chunk. I'm going to be borrowing a lot from Stasian. So there is really, I actually started searching for this. I was like, is there a way that a woman is expected to romance a man? There is really no consensus on it. Yeah, chivalry is a thing for women. It's like, it's known. We know this.
Yes.
Wine and dine, it's known. Gifts, it's known. But on the other side, for women to actually reciprocate that for a man, it's not really that known. And I'm speaking in the context of unmarried women. So that brings me to my next point. A lot of the times there's an assumption that what men want is sex. And we know unmarried Christian women, there's no way that we can't do that. Yeah, Bible, very clear. Very clear. So that cannot be it. So then it goes to the place of us actually understanding then what it is that man wants as the pre-marriage romance. And so Stasian mentioned conversations, which is very important. And I don't think it's as normal as it should be, asking somebody, what do you want? And then the next side of it is, does somebody have the self-awareness to actually know what they want? Because we kind of assume people know what they want, and a lot of the times they don't. We just want you to do it that way, they man. Which way? That way there. You don't know me I talk about you. No? Yeah, so that's not a conversation. I understood nothing. No, I don't get what you're saying. So then it goes to the point of people being self-aware. Do I know what I want? If you don't know what you want, if you cannot communicate it to yourself, you certainly cannot communicate it to somebody else. So then if you do know what you want and you can have an open, honest discussion about it, then you work with, can I do this? Stasian mentioned love languages. She's not subscribed to them. I subscribe to them. I just be like, yeah, these things work. And it depends on how you do things, right? You might not label it that way, whatever. But if I understand that you like these things, I endeavor to do these things. And that's how the relationship works out.
Yes.
If it is, for example, for me, like gifts not gonna be here nor there. Like you can bring me a bouquet of roses and I'll be like, oh, thanks, nice. And you need to spend a day with me without your phone. Like that is it. And I'm like, that's good. Like that, I'm good with that. So then actually knowing what you want and then having conversations about what you want and not feeling belittled if it is something traditional. Here's where I preach to the women. If this man wants you to cook a meal for him and that is how you feel loved, you need to decide whether or not cooking a meal for him is something you can do for the rest of your life without feeling belittled. Yeah? So if you feel like, say, okay, he wants me barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen because he wants me to cook dinner for him every night, then that relationship, obviously, you guys are not compatible in that way. You cannot show him love the way he wants to be loved. Therefore, move on. Yeah? Break it off nice and easy and move on. Yeah? But so we have to understand these things, and if he wants you to support his endeavors, that might be a way that he wants to be loved. Yeah, support his endeavors, advertise for him little startup business on the side, something like that. But you know what I'm saying? You have to figure out what that man wants and then work with that. And the married and the engaged people need to talk to me and see if I make some sense.
Right?
Because that's basically how I think it should work. So self-awareness and communication and making sure that you can actually meet the need that the person has.
Married people, sounding, no? Come on now.
Of course. Yeah.
Delicia.
You are indeed correct. I mean, the truth is you have to know what it is that the person wants, and the person first needs to know what it is that they want, and to find out if both of you can really meet at that same place. Because if you can't meet at that place, it makes no sense. You are not compatible and it's not going to work. Everybody is going to be miserable. And trust me, nobody wants to live a miserable life. Nobody. All right. So let's hear Jody-Kay. What are your thoughts?
Okay. So on that perception of women, I do agree that there is no consensus as to how we treat a man before marriage. In terms of after you're married, of course there has to be a consensus, and the Bible is the blueprint for that. I also want to speak to whether or not there's consensus when it comes down to how a woman should be treated. Yes, there is. Society preaches that for us. It sings it every single day.
Every day.
Can you open the door for me? Can you go before me? Can you pull up my chair? And all of that stuff. Initially, when I heard this perception that is out there of women, I thought about a counter argument that was raised by persons who were against feminism. And they were saying, okay, so you women are out there in the streets with placard asking for equality. Okay, how about you open the doors for us then? How about you open the door for yourself then? So that kind of equality. And I'm like, come on, you're taking it from one extreme to the next. But I will borrow the scripture that Billy mentioned before, 1 Peter, where it mentions us as the weaker vessel. If I can just bask in that a little bit to say, I like it. I like the chivalry. I like when you open the door for me. I love being treated as the weaker vessel in that regard, and it makes me feel like a woman. Some other women may be able to identify with that. But I also believe in reciprocation, and that means that if it is that we're dating, in my mind, I'm conscious of how much do I give to you. So that is definitely in my mind, because personally, and this, I'm not speaking for all women, personally, there are certain things that I will not do. It's not sinning against God, definitely. That's out of that's a given. I'm talking about simple acts of kindness that I won't do while we're dating, right? But I will do for you when we are married. And one example is this. I had a friend once, and she also had a friend. I believe they were dating, and the friend was in the community where she was, and he was passing by, and he asked her to iron his shirt. Personally, that's a no. Iron which shirt? We're not married. Personally. So in my mind, I'm conscious of that. But talk about courtesy. I will take you out on a date. I will pay for your food. I will buy you gifts. You don't have to do all the spending. We'll break it even, or I'll take care of the bill completely. I don't see that as something reserved for marriage. It's just courtesy. I'm just treating you good. I also thought of, right. And I also thought about this outside of dating, just in the friendship circle, no interest whatsoever. And I don't have a problem either in that context being courteous to somebody who is not my husband, an elderly, or I'm doing catering and you're there and serving you a glass of water, you come to my house, that kind of a thing. So I just broaden the discussion to that as well. So definitely, I agree that there's no consensus for the women, and I agree with what you have said earlier, Stasia and Delicia, that you have to know who you're dating, know what it is that they're expecting of you, be conscious in yourself of what you also want. It's not just about what they want, but what you also want and are expecting in that relationship, what you will and will not do, and ensure that is communicated clearly so that we all can be on the same page here. You're not way ahead of me into courtship and I'm into dating, that kind of a thing. So yeah, my 2 cents.
All
My 2
right.
cents.
That sounds like more than 2 cents, but hey. Priscilla, what are your thoughts?
All right, I'll try to keep it brief.
And it seemed like Priscilla have a book and she said she would
No,
try
I
to
just
keep it
no,
brief.
it's just that it's a new book and I didn't have anything else to write on. So what I want us to understand, and I do agree with a lot of what the persons that went before me said, I have not seen a consensus whether outside of Christianity or in Christianity. I have not seen a consensus, right? But as women, I want us to understand that when you're dating somebody, it is like you have to prepare yourself that it may not work out. So it can work out and it cannot work out, right? You can go all the way into marriage and the marriage can work out and the marriage cannot work out. And I say that to say, I think a lot of the times when women say that is husband privilege, I think they're just risk averse. Because you don't want to be, and I'm not talking about sinful activities now, but you don't want to seem like you're giving your all to somebody who supposed to not married. Then him just go move on to somebody else. Would I have been preparing him for his wife? So I feel that it is something that you think about as a woman. I am in that stage now where we're not yet married. We have been dating, we dated, we courted, and now we're engaged. But it's what I have been cognizant of through the entire process. It may work out, it may not work out. And I had to be prepared to be okay with however it may go. Right? Now, what do we classify as good treatment? Delicia rightfully said, you have to understand the person. The person has to know what they want. If you don't know what you want, I cannot give you no good treatment. Personally, I have certain views on what is classified as husband treatment and what is classified as we're not there yet, honey, chill. But certain things I will do is I'll inquire about his day, so separate and apart from the going out, because I love to go out. So I don't mind taking him out, but inquiring about his day. Sometimes I'll, like if he's on a fast, for instance, and the certain food that he wants to eat on the fast is not at his house, I'll say, you want me to cook something for you? It's not like I'm cooking for him every day. I love to cook, but my fiance is not somebody that's big on food, but he's on a fast. There is nothing else that he can eat. I will do the meal for him. Also, I pay attention to his love language, and he will say that his love language is English. So he don't want me to come to him with this love language stuff. But there are certain things that your partner likes, and it's good to know what he likes.
Yes.
We have to be so careful with not loving somebody how you would want to be loved.
That's key.
For instance, if it's a birthday, like for me, my birthdays is International Priscilla Day. Do the entire shebang. Announce it on TV. Let me see it on a billboard.
Yes.
Right, that is me for my birthday. But his birthday, he would want to be in his room praying. Like, Lord, thank you for bringing me to this day. Thank you for letting me see 8:30. Lord, I ask some more grace. I ask some more mercy. And I want to make a big shebang out of it. Yeah. But also, I know that he loves quality time. As Delisa said, quality time and put down your phone. So while I may not put his birthday on a billboard, I'll ensure that I am there. So I am there for his birthday. He'll be like, just spend the day with me. I'll be there, but granted, I'm gonna put in a one gift. I know that God and football, those are the things that he loves. I will buy him a jersey. I cannot buy him God. I cannot buy him God. I can buy him a jersey. Here, honey, here's a personalized jersey. Something like that. Also, my last point on this is that I think why a lot of persons get into, let me rephrase that. We have to be careful to not bottle certain things and certain conversations just for when you get married. And I'm going to explain myself. Certain conversations, if you do not have certain certain behaviors that you may not see, certain ideologies that may have been formed from the person was a child. If it is
yes.
that you save those things from marriage, it can cause problems in marriage. When Mona and I were dating, a lot of things, like I used to wonder if I need to say to him or tell him, because I was like, but I don't know if me and him are going married. And I was saying, maybe when we start counseling, I could say these things. But what I found out is that counseling is not the magic formula. And when you get married, it just magnifies certain things. So him and I, we have lots of conversations. We can be on the phone for several hours. We talk about everything under the sun because I want to know who this person is at the core. Do not try to bottle up. So you're not going to have sex with him. You're not going to encourage or be involved in sexually immoral behaviors. And I do believe that only your husband needs to know certain things about you. Right? But be careful not to bottle up certain things for marriage, because I've seen and I've heard of situations in which persons are like, but we're not married yet, or they get married and they be like, but I have not seen this before, because you are bottling up. Remember that marriage is just that you're not going to live together. No, he's going to see, he must see you ugly with the matter in your face and your teeth no brush. Like, there are certain things that is just marriage. So don't bottle up certain things. And remember, we need to be okay in the church with the fact that if we're dating, if we're courting, if we're engaged, it may not work out. It is a risk. Don't use it. You cannot prevent yourself from sadness without preventing yourself from happiness. Don't be so afraid waiting on marriage that you are not who you are supposed to be. Don't do that. Do not bottle it up. And it causes a lot of problems in Christian marriages, and we need to stop. It is okay if you're on the personal date, court, engage, and it don't work out. It is okay. Marriage is not the end goal. You would have had a great relationships. You would have had great memories. And you have to learn things about yourself. Do not bottle all of this, everything that you're thinking up. And then in marriage, you unleash it on the man, and he's like, what me don't know where this comes from.
Like,
and then do the same. Do not bottle all of these things up.
Right.
Sex conversation, something else. Like, I need to have these open conversations with you. Are you expecting a third person in the bedroom? Are you expecting a chandelier performance every night?
Jesus!
What
Holy.
Oh yes, Lord.
happening in marriage? I'm sorry.
Let me point something out. It is almost next to taboo for church, let me just say, young people are not dating or relationship. There's a lot of taboo here and there. As Priscilla rightfully said, and let me use this begging a free pass, Stasian. I've had this conversation with Stasian before. We need to be okay with knowing that some relationships really come to unearth certain things and make us more aware of who we are and what we like and what we don't like and move on. I'm not talking about being promiscuous and being careless and being unintentional about, when we pursue and, date persons. However, you see that part, being okay with it ending, because I don't know about anybody else, but in church, your christening is very exciting. Your baptism is very exciting. When you reach a certain age, when you're getting married, and by the time you get married, you're supposed to have your next christening for your children. So it's like this for them. And sometimes they don't remember that they themselves went through a process of miss and hit. So what I want to say, or what I wanted to highlight, was we need to make it okay for persons to know, because I've met persons who have shunned themselves because their relationships probably ended, and for some strange reason, persons in the church just still have that relationship in their heads, and it haunts them. So it really, really and truly needs to be a thing where we're okay with knowing that this didn't work. I remember looking at a church sister once. I don't want to say I snapped at her, but I was very passionate and just, talking about, it's a group conversation. She made reference about a particular couple. And I was like, so you would have rather them go all the way and then, you know, the marriage would be on rocky ground. And she looked at me and she said the Lord would have made a way.
Okay.
And I honestly could not respond to her, but this is the mentality that some of us come up against. That, you know, it's not okay, but it really is okay for you to date somebody.
All right, so I'm going to let Stassi anchor this one, and we move on because we're going to have to spend a minute on the rest of questions because
Okay,
I want the men to feel like we're did justice to their questions. All right, go.
Let me just say one thing, just in relation to the question about there being an established way that women treatment and women ought to treatment and so forth. Even though chivalry is documented, I do believe that there's a particular behavior that is associated with honoring. I know this because I am in hospitality ministry for years, and it's a thing that I love and do and study, and I love it. And many persons associate those kind of things with me flirting or honoring the man or esteeming the man or putting him on a certain level where, okay, I want you. And many people associate those behaviors with interest, with me showing interest in a guy. And I don't. It's a part of my heart to give you a glass of water before I take one for myself. You know, so I do think that there is a particular behavior from women that is associated, that men have associated with them showing their interest or with them pursuing them. So even though chivalry is a documented thing, I believe that there is still an understanding in our culture about how women treat women that they are interested in.
Interesting. All right, so you know, that led me to the next question where, you know, the guys are saying that church girls love to put off good guys and put them in the friend zone and put the bad guys and give them some forward. So, you know, I thought about that question long and hard, you know, because it's something that I personally believe is true. I'm a brother, that man, I'm a friend. So the brother and friend everybody, and then somebody just come in, wipes them away, and then there's nobody for them to call husband or pursue for a relationship because all the respectable options
I'm a brother. I'm a brother.
I'm a brother, so no, I can't date my brother, right?
Incest,
so,
yeah.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
That is like so wrong. So I'm going to ask Olivia to really start out that one.
Why?
Interesting that you chose her first.
Funny enough, big up all of my brother them. You're real large, you're large. Anyway, but fun and joke aside. Oh Lord, why you make me go first? Confidence. I'm just gonna wave the confidence flag. Okay, so the good guys, I want to know, you said the good guys are not given a chance. What is the good guy? What is the definition of the good guy? And then what is the definition of the bad guy?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because a good guy with confidence is just any other person. You get what I'm trying to say? As it's opposed to, what is a bad guy though? Are they talking about an unsafe person coming in and sweeping or you know plucking us away?
We may get to that.
We may get
to that question.
So are we
then
saying that there are good guys and bad guys in the church?
That's what I'm thinking.
You guess that's what I'm trying to understand.
Or isn't everyone saved?
Oh, that's what they're saying? So if so,
understanding.
I have more questions than I do a solid answer. If so, what are the characteristics of a Christian bad guy and a Christian good guy?
We know them though.
We do.
I don't know why Olivia tried to go around the question, you know, because she
Because-
knows exactly what the question asked.
Because I already said it, what my answer is. These 10, all right, the ones that we label to be bad are normally the ones that are more forward. In some sense, they're forward. They are going to, for instance, I got a joke the other day. A young lady was talking to me, and 2 guys, and she in her local church, and you know, one hand the good guy, the one that opens church, make sure everything is all right, and he's the go-to, and you know, everybody smiles and whatever, and the so-called bad guy, you know, he comes to church, he's not in any way shady or sketchy, but he's not necessarily one that everybody knows or say embraces. The good guy approaches her, and he says to her, his first line was, hi, I'd like for us to have Bible study together. And then flip side, bad guy comes in, bad guy, and he says to her, hi, let's go out for some ice cream. Or she said he gave him a compliment or something. And I'm going to put it forward to all of you here today. As a first interaction, as to showing interest, which I mean, good guy never even say I like you here, you know. Good guy never say you're pretty. Good guy never even showed any interest. He was playing it safe, if you get what I mean.
One of those scenarios is the person has an interest in learning God with you. The other one showed that he had an interest in you.
Right.
Right?
So, yes.
Okay.
And I believe that distinction to women pick up on things like that. And while it is that I admire that you want to have a Bible study with me, and I applaud that approach.
Not a date.
It's not a date, it's Bible study.
I am a person.
Wait, please make me talk next. Go ahead.
I am a person. So I don't know. And you know what? This is another question / answer. Ladies, for discussion. Why is it that they feel to play it safe and cloud it under being cloud it under why? Dilly look like she have something.
No, Dilly,
Dilly,
Dilly, you're burning to respond to
Oh
it.
Lord.
Go ahead.
Is it Olivia preaching a full ceremony now?
I know.
Look here,
I know it. Trust me. A bit. Listen.
Alright, so alright. Stasian said this I think before we started, but I'm going to borrow her words. Oftentimes, we don't put you in the friend zone. You go there and you take a seat. You understand me? Okay. All right. Phew. That is Stasian virtue, not a direct quote.
You should have said before you even start.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm very direct. I'm so sorry. But many times your approach indicates that you want to be a friend and not that you want to pursue something else with us. Okay, good. So the good guy. All right. So we have good and bad. Let's start talking about the good guy first. So the good guy, usually very nice, very indirect. Leaving hints, dropping clues, like Hans and Gretel in the forest. Like and I, as a bird, I'm supposed to come behind and pick up those hints. Right? No. So, also another feature of good guys is that they only talk about Jesus. Now let me tell you something. I love Jesus. Like I love Jesus. Yeah. I love church. Like church open, I'm usually there. You get what I'm saying? I know I'm saved. You at church, I know you saved. You don't gotta come to me proving how saved you are. You understand me? Like you're a Christian, me a Christian. We know this. This is like the baseline. You're a Christian and you're male, baseline. There is potential there. Okay? All right.
Amen.
So, you're preaching, you know?
Oh gosh.
No one there heavy for my heart.
when you come in this place, Freddy, dropping clues, I don't know if you're really interested. Let me tell you the God truth. I don't know. Are you really interested? There's a big question mark there. And here's a little trick. People often are interested in people who are interested in them. It's one of the ways that we work, yeah? So if you show that you are actually interested in you, if you invest some amount of risk into our interaction, you need to put the risk in to show me that I'm worth the risk to you. Yeah, if you're being indirect all the time, I don't know what you want. So guess what? You're my friend. Because if you're coming to me about Bible study, which I can do with all of my friends, I'm going to invite some friends along because that is not a date. Okay? Now, if this bad guy, he knows what he wants, right? He is confident. He makes a move. And he's not friendly with everybody in the same way, meaning that he's not making these moves on every single person that is around. You understand? So I understand what his intentions are. When you marry a woman, you marry an individual, you marry a person, you marry somebody that loves Jesus and has other interests too. So if you are going to step to me for a relationship, you need to step to me as an individual, somebody that loves Jesus and other things. Yeah, I need to know your interests. It cannot be that you've been on this earth 20 odd, 30 odd years and only thing in the world you're interested about is Jesus and church. You must have other interests. And that does not make you less of a Christian. It doesn't make you less saved.
There we go.
We're humans. We're in the world. We're not of the world. So there are other things we have interest in. Oh, I'm sorry. I've just said a lot, but I hope that I wasn't too blunt and I did not offend anybody so much. Please take my advice. We girls out here, we're rooting for you. We are. Okay, we want y'all to do. Yes. Yeah, we're rooting for you. Okay. So please take my words and go forth in Jesus.
All right, so Debbie is saying put on your big boy pants and just approach us. We're approachable, you know. Well, I'm already married, sorry, but I mean, the ladies are approachable and they want you to come. They want to know that you're willing to take that risk to say, I like you. I want to get to know you. Let's go have an ice cream. I might not like you after ice cream.
And that's okay.
And it's okay. And it's very well okay for you not to like me after ice cream, but tell me you want a little bit more than Bible study. Yes. All right, so moving right along, let's take it away, Jody-Kay.
Okay, I'm glad you came to me next. I'm burning to this spot.
I see.
I want for the burns, you know.
You're discerning. Glory to God. All right, I want to throw in another perspective. I hear what Delicia says, and I agree with you 100%. It's legit in terms of the point that you're making. A flip side to that is, and permit me to change bad guy to new guy, right? So we're working here with the good guy and the new guy, and the good guy gets friend zoned or becomes a brother, and the new guy is the one that, you know, piques the interest for whatever reason. I think that it is true, based on this perspective that I will show to you, that for example, I've seen where the good guy approaches the girl, says, hello, I am interested. And maybe you guys have been friends before, you converse the best. I mean, the discussions are so exciting and good. He's your go-to and everything. He's just your brother. He's so much like a brother. Comes to the place where, you know, the feelings are crossing over, and he says, hey, you know, I'm developing something. I like you, and I like the way we mellow, and whatever he would say in that situation. And then the sister says, no, but you're my brother. You know, I don't see you like that. And for one moment, we don't even stop to think that, you know, this is actually really a good guy. But the new guy, he comes, he intrigues us. He's doing it like in the movies. He's saying the right thing, the right lines. He has the lyrics, he has the swag, he has everything. But maybe our goodly brother he doesn't have too much, too much swag, but he's a good conversationalist. Basically. He's not tall enough, and then we have these physical qualities that I see a lot of young women. I'm generalizing here. I don't have the statistics to prove, but I've seen in my own experience that we base our love and our likings on physical traits that we can perceive, and we don't go beyond to see the wonderful qualities that our goodly brother has, and that potentially could be a good husband. For a lot of women, when they realize that this goodly brother could have been a husband to them, is when it's too late.
It's gone.
When he married to the next, when he married to him next sister.
Yeah, it's too late. So I want to use this opportunity to say to my ladies out there who are, coming up on in the dating, experience, that, take a stop and look at your brother. Maybe this person that you have there in the friend zone who has expressed interest in you. Take a look at his qualities. What is he like? Will he be a good husband? Will he be a good father? Move beyond the height and the skin complexion. Move beyond the how educated he is. I'm not saying that these shouldn't be part of your decision, but we are human beings, we are gonna age. All these beautiful teeth that you're seeing, they're gonna change. Your hair may fall out. You may get some wrinkles here and there, So it can't all be physical. And rightly, I would say that there are some brothers there who, we may need to think about. And if I just might add at the back end here that in my own experience, I've been friends with my husband since forever. We sang on the choir together. We were just really good friends, and I'd consider him to be like a brother. But then when the approach came, at first, immature me said no. And it took me some time to really say, he has some really wonderful qualities. And I'm happily married to my best friend. Aww. So I'm talking about this from experience now, that some of our brothers are in friend zones and we can start thinking about them. But the important thing is pray, seek the Lord, and he will reveal things to you as well. Amen. Mm-hmm. Praise the Lord, church.
I see. I want you to jump in.
Christina wants to go. She can go ahead of me.
All right, go, Prissy.
All right. So this concept of girls being attracted to the bad guy more than the good guy is not just in church. Come on, men. Come on. Come on. Get a grip. Get a grip. This is true, and I put that in air quotes because I have to expound on it, lest we run away thinking that I said a beer bad guy girls want. Mm-hmm. In the world, prior to me becoming a Christian, when I attended you, there was a guy who liked me. He was my friend. I did not know that he liked me like that. After we left UWI, we were still friends because he's my friend. I found out that he liked me and wanted to pursue something more. Now, if you know me and know me well, you will know that I'm very direct. If you do not say to me, Priscilla, I am interested in pursuing something with you, I will not know. I am blind as a bat. You can
no breadcrumbs.
I am blind as a bat. I cannot
not playing charades. No.
I cannot play charades. If you do not say I am interested in pursuing something further with you, I will never know. Right? So know the person who you are interested in.
Yep.
Also, remember that everybody has a type. Everybody has a type. Whether or not we like to admit it, I have a type, you have a type. As men have types. Men look at the physical. In fact, sometimes you're wondering if the physical should go away, if they would still want you. Men are so caught up in the physical. I personally don't see anything wrong with looking at the physical. However, it should not be at the top of, or even if it's at the top of the list, it should not be so ingrained in your brain that you are not able to look past that. there are some persons who can grow to love somebody, right? There are some persons who want the physical attraction from the beginning. Everybody has a type.
Yeah.
Every single body
Yes.
has a type, right? I may not be okay. I'm okay with growing to. I've been in situations where I've grown to love the person, and I've been in situations where from the get-go, me did just
You're
like them
smitten.
and be like, yeah, man,
Yes.
can go on, some can go on, right? But we have to look at who we are as a person. And I do not want persons to say that maybe I'm shy. Brother, what do you mean maybe you're shy? You want me, you like me. So pray to Jesus
Right?
and come back. What
One
is
plus
wrong with
one.
you? After 2 minutes of
Acts,
boldness.
Chris.
Where shyness to go?
Look here, after 2 minutes of boldness. And sometimes I must agree with Jody-Kay that sometimes those good guys, when you really peel back, and this is outside of the physical, because they may look good, but they're still good guys. When you look at the physical or beyond the physical, you're like, whoa, how come I didn't see this before? But if you don't approach me the right way, we cannot get to that level. We cannot get to that level.
True.
Right? So I am not going to say that women, and I'm generalizing here, and I think I can generalize because I have experiences both outside of church and inside church, right? But if you are a nice guy, ask God for 2 minutes of boldness and step to the girl like you want her. It is not the
Be
outside
shy
guy
on the
With your
date.
chest.
Yes, Chris.
With your chest.
there is a guy who in church who said to me, the first thing he said to me was, I mean, I saw him creeping around, but the first thing he said to me was,
Keeping.
no, I'm really praying to God about you. Brother, you don't have a relationship with God. Aren't you praying every day? Are you going to ask me to marry you the first time you talk to me or the second time you talk to me, given that this first conversation was so lame?
Boy.
Take me for ice cream. Come and meet me on my shoes. And look here, yes, I want to study the Bible with a partner, but we're not at there as yet. I am a girl. My love look good. I love conversations. I love.
You know, I like you, Priscilla.
Work on yourself and wheel and come again, man. Ask God
Yes.
for 2 minutes of boldness.
All right. So you can't
Real
tell me
quick,
you don't
Terry.
radiate in Stassi.
Well, real quick, just adding on to Priscilla, what I'm saying is, get the boldness, ask me out. I will respect you for being shy on the date. I will respect that. To be
Yes,
honest,
so
I'll respect it. Go
Right.
ahead, that's it. Sorry.
That's fair.
Yeah, and it's true what Delicia has said, because I know how to carry a conversation, and we can be empathetic, and we know you put yourself out there, and we know it's not the easiest thing, and we are appreciative, and we're appreciative of the fact that you appreciated us enough to ask us out. So if you're shy, it's okay. We'll carry the conversation. We will not necessarily coach you, but we'll guide you along, because we only said yes if we were interested in
True.
Okay, that was in response to that. No, the question. I think original intent is very important. It's very important to me. So you can't come to me talking like you're my friend and hi, I want to get to know you, and I say okay, on what grounds? They're like, oh, we can be friends, and I'm like, okay. If you say we can be friends, fam, we're gonna be friends, okay? Because that was your original intent. If 2-3 months later you start to develop some feelings, or that's when you develop the courage to tell me your feelings, and you say, you know, when I first saw you, this is how I saw you. Why didn't you say that before? To me, I feel deceived. I feel like you enter the interaction with deception in your heart. And if somebody do that to me, that's enough for me to end the friendship and the interaction completely. I have no respect for friendship as the basis to engage with me when they really want me in a romantic way. So no matter with that, if a friend thing you come with,
Fuck it up.
and you go to the point where if you try something else, you're just gonna piss me off and completely disrespect. Like, how dare you? How dare you try to play me like that? And me an idiot.
Deception.
Deception. Original intent. Olivia, stop drawing. Original intent is very important to me. I believe it's the most respectful thing ever to be upfront about what your interaction is about. Just have a conversation and be honest and transparent. That was the thing. The other thing is that we process differently. Different women may respond in different ways. I do not speak for all women, but I know that It's going to take a while for me to, I don't trust you as I meet you. It's not going to happen. It's going to take a while for me to let you in. And it's not because I need you to jump through hoops or I need you to earn it. No, it's not that I see you and I value you as a man, but it's going to take some time for me to let you in, to get close to me. Because if as women, the women who are single here and the women who are married, if you walk on the road, man calls you, you are nice and friendly, you're going to let all of them in. Everybody will get your number, so you have to tell them your heart desires and your goals and where you want to. It's a ridiculous expectation for men to think that women are going to let all guards down at the first date, the second date. No, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to see where can we meet mutually, where we both get to know each other. We're going to share some experiences. We're going to share some movies. We're going to share some festivals and some concerts. And we're going to have some shared experiences. And as we share these experiences, you will get to know the heart of me. But you're not going to come to me just so boom, and me I go tell you, say, you know, when I was a child, this happened. And since then, it really affects how I interact here, and I can't. Like, get out of here. Like, forget it. You don't get to know those things. It's not a thing that happens. So it gets a while for intimacy in that regard. And there is a certain level of intimacy that is reserved. And when I say intimacy, I don't speak to physical intimacy. I mean the heart intimacy where, may I tell you, my every thought, my unfiltered expression.
Yes.
There you go, unfiltered expression. And I'm not a hypocrite when you just meet me now. No. However, I do have tact and I'm respectful. And my unfiltered expression is not completely out of the way of my tactful expression. It's just a deeper part of me. Because, gentlemen, women have layers. Women have layers. And if you want to get to the core of a person, it means that there are some layers that she would have to be willing to show you before you get to a certain place. And frankly speaking, there is a part of a woman, of every person, that they reserve for the people who are closest to them. We are not intimate with the entire world. That's what you call it again? An unrealistic expectation. So if you are in the friend zone, Zine, and I know men may try to go to the friend zone because they know that they know some of these things. They know that it takes time. And they want to take the time to get to know you. But you have to say to the female, you have to say, this is why I want to take this time to get to know you. Because nothing is wrong with being friends. I respect a man that can say, this is my intent, but I really want us to be friends. I respect that. And I don't think it puts any kind of pressure on the interaction to be more than what it actually is. I don't think it does. So have the conversation, be clear about what your original intent is, understand that things take time. Do not expect us to be intimate, emotionally intimate and intellectually intimate on the first couple of engagements, and just wait, just wait, just take your time and wait. And gentlemen, if it don't work out, it don't work out, and it's okay. If you're in the friend zone now, do something about it. What do you want out of life? It's like,
what did you learn?
You don't want work and you're in an entry-level position, but you want more. But what you do, wait for them see if you promote you? That's what you're doing? And then somebody else company work now and say, yo, we don't want that entry-level position there. Or even if I hear so you can't employ me at the moment, let's be clear, these are what my career goals are. And if in the next 2 years I don't see any movement from management to promote me to a certain level, best believe I'm about to be looking elsewhere. Be the person that can go up to whoever it is and say, hello, I'm feeling unsatisfied where I am right now and I want more. That's the only thing I can say to the gentlemen out there. And most importantly, just miss me with the friend thing. Just miss me with it. If I know that you want, miss me with it completely. Me finish now.
Yes. All right. So after this, it's going to be 30 seconds to win it. All right.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Prissy,
Sorry.
you have the final say on this one because your hand has been up for the past half an hour.
I wanted to address something that Sassian said about him telling you his intentions up front. I don't agree with that in all situations because since I've been in church, I've realized that if a man is, I'm trying to phrase it in the best way possible. If you are talk to a girl and you nobody want to talk to her, the church bash you. How dare you? How dare you? And you become the worst man in the church. Right? So though Stasian is saying it is deception to want to actually have an intention to be more than friends, but you approach as a friend, at this point he does not know you. He is getting to know you. So nothing is wrong with, so I'm not saying he cannot deceive you, he can, because we're humans. Men and women can deceive each other, right? But I do not see anything with him saying or with him wanting to be more than friends, but starting it out as a friend. Because the church, and listen, the church are very hard on men when men decide to them don't bother want you. In fact, the church, and this is something that I have seen and heard of even before I came into Christendom, because there are so many women and few men. There, the church look at you, and I'm telling you, it is so heartbreaking on the men. It breaks them to where men actually consider leaving the church. It breaks men, and sometimes I find that the women don't take responsibility for what they do in the relationship either. So you have this man hurting, and then the church coming down on them, and you are there silent in a little corner, knowing that you did something so bad. So we have to be, in fact, me personally, I'm not generalizing, me personally, you don't have to tell me your intentions up front. It's okay if you want to get to know me. Because it don't have to go nowhere, And some church girls can't keep quiet. I'm going to talk to you on the phone tonight. Everybody at church know tomorrow.
And that's why it's okay for you to date more than one person. We have always been stressing that. When you get to
Tarian,
yes, you can talk to more than one person.
You're promiscuous.
That is unheard of.
When you start getting exclusive now, then that's different, right?
Okay, can I say something?
Sure.
I love your point, Priscilla, and I love Tarian's point, because we have to, I believe that we have a responsibility to normalize mutual pursuit, right? I think it is very, 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 very important. And I believe that we cannot hold ourselves back as a result of what the current culture looks like. Because the fact that the current culture may respond in a certain way does not mean that it is correct, right? And my relationship, my friendships, my interactions have absolutely nothing to do with the current culture. So if this thing doesn't work out with me and this gentleman, it has nothing to do with the church. And I know we're speaking to the church space, but the same is true for many spaces all over. It doesn't have anything to do with them. So what? You're not going to say that because the church are going to bash you if it don't work out?
I just wanted to add to
each his own, though. Sorry, continue.
This is spicy.
You're allowed, quickly.
Okay. So I get both points. I get what Stasian is saying, and I get what Priscilla is saying. The other dynamic that needs to come into it is that sometimes you might go into a friendship not knowing that you, I wouldn't say not knowing, you didn't have interest at that point to pursue a relationship, but your feelings change during the course of pursuing that friendship. And then you say, so I think, Stasian, I'm not speaking for you, but that you would allow that as an exception to say that if that is the case, as long as you're honest with it, with that, and in representing that, then you would be okay with that. But you are just against having the intention to be more than just friends, and not saying that from the onset. In terms of what Priscilla is saying now, with regards to the response of the church, even though I get your point, Stasian, to say that we should not be too concerned, and I'm using my own words here. You can correct me if I'm misunderstanding you, but we should not be too concerned in terms of how they will react with our choices. But I've learned during my Christian walk, because I was completely passionate about that as well, until I learned that within a church setting, and worse if you're a leader, you are actually serving these people, and without the people, there's not much that you can accomplish. So if you can let your good not be evil spoken of, and you have control over that, as said in the scripture, then you should do what is necessary to maintain your integrity. And if it is that there is a culture and you understand the culture within your setting, then that's a part of being strategic. It's a part of winning people. It's a part of, getting ahead. So if you can avoid that, but I agree with you in ending that we should be honest, we should be direct, we should be upfront. But if there is an exception that if our feelings grow when we were
Over
just
time.
friends, then we should allow
Communicate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. I really think that was justice to that question.
Yes.
All right. So moving along.